Hey y'all, happy Wednesday. So picking up where we left off yesterday, at his death, he bequeaths us his peace. And I want to go to 2 Corinthians 5:21, which is a scripture that you are familiar with. But so I ended yesterday saying that by Jesus' death on the cross, the debt for sin was paid, which you well know that. It was paid in full. He took on our sin and gave us his righteousness. So 2 Corinthians 5:21 says, "For our sake, he," this is God, "made Christ virtually to be sin who knew no sin, so that in and through him we might become endued with, viewed as being in, and examples of the righteousness of God," which is what we ought to be, approved and acceptable and in right relationship with him by his goodness. Now, that is the peace that Jesus bequeathed to us, to his disciples, to those who would believe at his at his death, which of course he is alive today. So sin was paid when Jesus died, and we received the peace that Jesus walked in. Now we are in unbroken relationship with the Father, and as Jesus told the two women in the accounts that we read last week, the one who washed his feet with the ointment, dried them with their hair, and then the woman with the issue of blood. So Jesus told those women, shalom. He said to go in peace. And remember from our accounts that the Amplified defines that peace as freedom from all the distresses that are experienced as a result of sin. Untroubled, undisturbed well-being. That is what Jesus walked in. And that is what he left us. Oh my. And legally, okay, so remember, go back to yesterday, we talked about a will is a legal declaration of a person's wishes regarding their assets that they're passing after death. Legally, when sin was paid, we who believe in Jesus, on Jesus, we are released. We are released. Legally, sin, Satan, death, destruction has no more hold over us. There's no more lien. There's no more note. There's nothing left to be paid. And so I love the legality of it, that God doesn't do anything illegal or out of order or chaotic or confusing. When Jesus died, the payment for sin was fulfilled. And we who accept his sacrifice receive his peace. Receive his peace. Unbroken relationship with the Father. Unbroken relationship with the Father. And then I want to go back to John 14:27 because we have much to dig in this. The end of that. So he says, "My peace I leave with you. My own peace, my own right with God, I give to you. Not as the world gives, do I give." And then he says, "Let not your hearts be troubled, and neither let them be afraid." So he's telling his disciples, don't let your hearts be troubled or afraid. So if he is giving this instruction, then first of all, it means that it is possible for us to not be afraid and for us to not be troubled. Second of all, that it is our responsibility to stop our hearts from being troubled and to stop our hearts from being afraid. Jesus would have never given a command or instruction that we were unable to follow. And so that is where we're going to pick up tomorrow. I will see you then. Bye, y'all.